Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Knowledge Happy Hour, episode number 15. We're now getting close to number 16, which is going to be probably the last one we're doing on a sequential basis. I see quite a few of you already have joined. We're going to wait for a few more people to join us right now before we get started with today's Facebook Live. It's going to be a really exciting one because I have really two power-packed presenters and panelists in a way, because we're going to do both a panel as well as a presentation. So I'm hoping everyone would really have fun in this one. Let's see, quite a few of you have joined. Hi, everyone. Let me see. Well, let me have a look at the comments. Hi, Anita. Hi, Sonia. Hi, Adarsh. Nice to see you. Rohan, always nice to see you also on the live. And I see Sunita, our regular, also as usual there. Wonderful. This is great. So we're waiting for a few more people. Today, I'm going to make it almost like a challenge for everyone once we get started, where we want to really hit the numbers of people who are viewing this today on a really high point. Hi, Dr. Rashmi Rathore. Hi, Shreja. Nice to see you. Saurav, really nice to see you also on the live today from Canada all the way. Hi, Shalini. All right, we're still having a few more people to join in, so we'll wait for a couple of minutes and then begin. Thank you so much for all of you who've already sent us feedback from yesterday, the form that we shared. It's been great feedback that we've been receiving for this Knowledge Happy Hour. We're really humbled with all the kind words that you all have shared with us. I will again ask my team to share the link in the chat today, and hopefully all of you can send us some feedback, the ones who's not already sent it. Okay, so we've got quite a few people joining us right now. Why don't we introduce our two esteemed panelists and presenters today. Can I have my panelists online now? Where do I see them? And there they are.
Yeah,
hi,
Ashwin.
hi Neha, how are you?
All fine.
Great, I'm really happy to have you here today.
Can you guys hear us clearly?
Guys, can you, if you can hear us really nicely, or we are quite audible, just say, give a thumbs up or say yes in the comment stream. So we're well aware of that. Hi, Rublin. Hi, Nidhi. So, Hemal, Neha, how's the lockdown working for both of you?
Well, it's working interestingly, I should say. Apparently, I mean, we're just finding more time for ourselves, one, and at the same point of time, just ending up doing more work.
No, I can totally relate with that. There's a lot more work.
Yeah.
Great. So we're going to wait for a couple of minutes, or you know what? I'm going to put out a challenge today to everyone on the live stream today. What I want you to do is take your phone. All right. It's not visible, but I will try to probably get rid of this imaginary screen that I have. Let me see if I can get rid of this one. Make it easier for people to view my phone. Okay, here we go. So if you have your phone, what I want every one of you today to do, before you get started, click on the button if you're viewing this on your phone, or if you're viewing this on your laptop or computer, go on share. I want you to share it on your Facebook profiles. I want you to invite every single friend. I've already invited close to about 120 to 150 friends. Sadly, I have only 250 friends, which Hemal was making fun of earlier today. But I am planning to invite all of my friends today on this.
That's because you're not on Facebook, Ashwin.
Yes, I'm not very active even on Facebook. I'm almost a social secluded person on Facebook. But yes, I want every one of you today on the live stream. Go ahead, share this. I'm waiting for all of you to get the numbers up. We've got about 32 people I see live right now. I want that number to hit probably the high 50s, 70s, 80s, maybe even touch the hundreds. I want all of you to start a watch party. Click on it, share it, invite your friends. It's going to be a fun session, and we're going to have a really good Q&A also. And there's going to be a really interesting rapid fire. So, and I'm hoping Hemal, the entire Octoburst team is watching this. If not, I'm pretty sure this is going to go in their annual review, right?
Yeah, they have the link. They're watching.
Great, great. All right. So without further ado, I would like to get started with today's session. Let me start by introducing our first presenter today, Miss Neha Shah Majithia. She is the co-founder and chief Octomind for Octobus, which is one of the best agencies in India, working on incredible digital content for both individual brands and you name it. They're working with the likes of the best in the industry, both in India and across the world. A little bit about Neha, for you all to know her a little bit better. She's an entrepreneur. She's a social media evangelist. She's also a speaker, a business consultant, and something that maybe most of you don't know, she's also a dance teacher. She's an amazing home chef. I can definitely stand true to that. She's an amazing home chef. And Neha has been working in the field for over 10 years in business development, strategy, digital marketing, training, both in India and the UK. Some of the companies that Neha works with personally in Octobus is Amazon, Forbes, Tata's, and you name it. So there's probably a huge list here which I'm not going to read out to all of you because then the entire session will be only around that. Two very important things that you also want to know about Neha, that she has been awarded the World Women Leadership Award by Femina, and she was also the 50 most influential global youth marketing leaders. She was awarded that also. So she is very well reputed in this industry. So that's a little bit about Neha. And Neha, I'm sorry if I'm missing out on something. I'll let you add on to it on later. Now I'd like to take the chance. Sorry, Neha, you're saying something.
That's perfectly fine. Thank you for the introduction.
Thanks, Neha. Okay, so the second presenter we have today, and who's quickly moved into the screen now, is Hemal Majithia. He is the founder and chief Octomind of Octobus. He's probably the one who has this brainchild of Octobus a very long time ago. He's an extremely passionate marketer. He is a speaker on digital marketing, company culture, law of averages. Some of you must have met him in our prior sessions. Probably in November, if you attended an International Image Day, he was speaking on law of averages there. You will remember him from that day. He works with the likes, or his company, Octobus, works with the likes of Aldo, Bath Body Works, CNN, CNBC, Disney, lots of brands. But the real key differentiator is the brands that Hemal has probably built himself almost. So we are all fans of a lot of great authors here. Chetan Bhagat, Amish Tripathi, Ashwin Sanghi. These are all fans. We are fans of them. But these three or many more authors are fans of Hemal and Neha. They are truly fans of these two individuals because a lot what they've been able to build today is because of Hemal and Neha.
We try our best, but they're the best writers, yes.
Yeah. So, and a few things more about Hemal, if you want to know. He is a person who loves food, cinema, and he loves his books. Those are three things. If you want to get a favor from Hemal, these are the three guilty pleasures that he always has: food, cinema, and a good book. Today, Hemal and Neha are going to be presenting us a little bit of an insight about how to become a social influencer. I think every one of us has always wanted to be that social influencer who gets a lot of fan following, gets a lot of people who have brand opportunities to present, co-brand, all those things. We see them on our Instagram, on our Twitter, on our Facebook, YouTube all the time. We always feel that we want to get there. So they're going to try to help us understand how do we become that social influencer. And the second most important thing they're going to also address is how to make money out of this. Because being a social influencer is great. If you don't make any money, there's really nothing. You need to show the dollar signs, or in case the rupee signs here. So they're going to try to focus on those also. So they've got a short presentation, which they will take us through. After they've taken us through the presentation, we will dive into maybe a Q&A, a panel. I'm hoping for a lot of questions on the stream today. So please do share your questions. And now over to you, Hemal and Neha.
Thank you, Ashwin. Thank you for a very humble introduction, though. And thank you, everyone, for joining us today. We're just gonna show you our presentation and we'll just take it forward from there.
Can you guys see the screen now?
Yep.
Yeah, we can see it.
As Ashwin has already explained you what's the topic for today, before I just begin with the introduction, I'm assuming that everyone who is present out here at least have heard about this term influencer marketing, right? So today our presentation is actually not gonna cover the basics of influencer marketing, but the people who do not know about it will, today onwards, you will be able to, get into the conversation where people are actually talking about influencer marketing. So don't worry, we have covered a bit of both, and mainly it is from our experience, from the brands which we are working with and the influencers we are working with. So you'll have a much more practical aspect of how to become a successful influencer. I hope I'm audible, guys. If not, you can type in your comment. I'll make myself more louder. So starting with the most basic question, like what is influencer marketing? In the simple words, yeah, people know you when you are influencer, and definitely they would believe whatever you're gonna put on your platform, whether it is YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and there are chances of likely they've been implementing whatever you're gonna put on your channel. In the simplest form, this is what the influencer is, right? Let's see from the how people take you. Like if, for example, you are a fashion influencer, your friends might think that you have access to all big fashion event in the city, and I'm sure people who are already fashion influencers over here would relate to this, that friends telling them next time get the event pass for me as well. So this is what your friends would think. Your mom definitely would always think that my daughter or son can buy whichever brand they want, and just pose with the bags or the product, and yeah, people would follow them. What your readers would think is uh, really working behind the laptop and making sure that you get great products to them. Society thinks you just very good at posing with good products, whether it is whether they are clothes or makeup or any kind of accessories. Somewhere in your mind, yes, you would think that I'm like a queen. Whatever brands I want to work with, I can. Brands are actually looking for me. And what you really do is, the main part, you actually wrecking your head, like behind the laptop, whether I'm putting the right kind of image, whether what I'm gonna put is gonna influence people, whether they will buy it looking at it, or they're gonna engage with me in whatever content I'm putting. How will I grow my followers? I guess most of the influencers online right now would relate to this. Now there are only two kind of things you actually need to balance when you want to become successful at influencing people. Now, one is your audience, another one is the brand you are working for, right? Sorry, thank you. Yeah. Now let's take the audience part. How do we actually grow our audience being an influencer? Not only growth, but keeping them engaged. Sorry, yeah. Through first thing is quality content, making sure that whatever you are putting on your channel, people are actually liking your content and responding to it. Second, engage with your audience, like put you can run the contest, you can ask polls, put questions in your content to make them more engaged with you. Very important thing, don't buy fake followers, because sooner they'll come, sooner they'll be gone. So it's better to go slow but go organically, making sure that you are giving them quality content and they are responding back to you. Best thing, yeah, do live, like interact with them every now and then. Put quotes for which they keep on coming back to your channels. And yeah, okay. So I have, in fact, we have come through this major secret of becoming successful at influencing is hustle. Now, there are various kind of hustle which an influencer has to go through. One example we've taken of ISIM itself, that hustle to add value. What they are doing right now is, happy hour knowledge session. They're actually hustling to give their people knowledge for which they can come every day at 7:30. This is like their urge to give them more value. A second major secret is hustle to be regular. Now, many a times what happens is, if we think that uh, we are adding value to our people, but if we don't make it as a habit, nobody is gonna stick to us. Like, I'll just take a simple example of author Priya Kumar. uh, she is one of our clients, and she is an internationally acclaimed motivational speaker. When we started working with her, we were just thinking, how will we grow her community? Like, offline, she has a fantastic base, but online, how do we actually increase her cult? So, what we started is doing, regular videos for her. And initial 1 year, 1.5, 2 years, it was, I mean, I wouldn't say nothing happened, but it wasn't taking up to that speed. Like, we were not getting many subscribers or views on the video. But the thing is, be patient. We were patient, and we just kept on going. And after 2.5, 3 years, you can see that she already has around 70K subscribers, and we have put more than 252 videos now. So being patient and keeping on is another major secret which you can hustle about to become a successful influencer. The third one is always have an eye on your competition. So basically, get data and learn from the same. Now, if you are into fashion or if you are a food influencer, definitely keep an eye on what your competitors are doing. Like, who is the best influencer in that particular industry? How many followers do they have? What kind of content do they put? Or what kind of contests do they run? How do they engage actually with their audience? That will actually help you to create certain benchmark for yourself as well. Next is to get that to pick up the right hashtag. So basically, it's very simple. You don't have to necessarily use any tools as such. You can simply go on the platform, whether it is Instagram or Facebook. Just put the hashtag and see how many posts are there actually on that particular hashtag. Whether people are actually putting up posts over there or engaging with it. So accordingly, you can put the similar hashtag in your content as well. Third one in getting data is pick up the right topic for your content. Now, especially on YouTube, when you're creating video, again, use your search bar to its optimal level. Like, put out the things. If you are if you are a fashion blogger, search on your bar, about fashion, like put the keyword fashion or say styling, and you will see how many videos are there, like which video has the highest view on it, and accordingly you can study that video, the styling of that video, or what content that influencers have put, and accordingly create your own as well. Now, the best part, the money part, which Hemal was talking about, I'm gonna pass it on to Hemal to take you all through how you understand your client better and how you monetize your influence.
Hey guys, hi. Hope you guys can see me clearly. Yep. Okay. Yep. Okay. Fine. So, just to summarize what we have heard till now. So, like we said, it's not the normal session where we're just gonna talk about very basics about influencer marketing. But Neha did touch up upon that part also. That like being an influencer, you would be normally knowing about like how to grow content and how to grow your following and put quality content, engagement, contests. These are the normal things that you do. Like we said, the one thing that is the secret behind kind of people who are out there and who are really doing good in terms of influencer marketing is hustle. Like she told you about, kind of like no, data is the key, or basically hustle to add value. Like basically think, what are you giving? Always we talk about stuff that uh, like I want followers, I want money. What are you giving, right? That's where she spoke about adding value. We spoke about data being the key. So those parts were about the content side, right? Now let's get into the monetizing side, right? Everybody wants to monetize their content, right? Say yes in the comments below if you believe that you want to monetize your content, you want to monetize your influence, and you want to become a big influence. So say yes in the comments below. Okay. Uh, Fine. Moving ahead. Okay, so influencer marketing. Okay, when we have to basically look at uh, influencer marketing now on the other side of things where we want to monetize it, we need to understand the client and their need really well. Now, who is this client? The client is basically brands. The client is basically agencies who are going to connect you to brands, right? So you need to understand them well. Now, one of the things which has happened is in the last 3 years, only on Google alone, people have searched for the word, not influencer, influencer marketing as the word has grown 1500% in the last 3 years in terms of searches. So that means there is definitely a good market there. Marketers are searching for good influencers. They want to get into influencer marketing. But what are the clients looking for? We used to always talk about reach, awareness, buzz, awareness being the keyword, right? But things have changed. At the end, let's say if they are giving you a lakh or even 20,000 rupees, or let's say, just think for a second, okay? If you are a brand and if you have to give, let's say me, who has an influence of an X amount of people, let's say a lakh, okay? Would you just expect awareness? Think about it. You would definitely expect much more than that. You would expect some kind of results out of that. Now, what kind of results they can be? So if you look at it here, the top results which people expect nowadays is some kind of conversion, some kind of sale. The conversions can be in terms of traffic to their page. The conversions can be in terms of leads going to them. The conversions can be in terms of sales too, right? Or the other part is most of the times, if you see the views, reach, and impressions, all actionables, right? Views is something which is definitely a good metric too. Reach is a good metric too. But engagement, very important, guys. Engagement is very important. I mean, as a agency, we look at people. Let's say if you have more than 20,000 followers, you have more than 25,000 followers, at least around 20 and above, you'd be in our radar. Okay. If you're looking at a particular category, we'll first see, okay, how much is it following? Second thing we will definitely look at is what is your engagement? Do you have good engagement with people, or are they just followers which are lying there and not engaged? Let me ask you this question to you guys, okay? And I'm going to look at the comments out here. Let me ask you this question about Facebook, okay? Let's say Facebook, you have 1 lakh die-hard fans, okay, on your page, and you put up a post on your Facebook page. What do you think the reach of that post will be in terms of percentage? Okay, my question is, you have a Facebook page, you have 1 lakh fans on that Facebook page, 1 lakh die-hard fans who like your page, okay? And you put up a post on that page. What do you think is the reach of that one post, it should ideally reach to at least your 1 lakh people, right? We're not talking about them seeing it. We're not talking about them sharing or liking it. We're just talking about the post reaching to them. What do you think in terms of percentage would be the percentage for your post to reach your audience? I'm just looking at the comments now. Can you just tell me in comments what do you think should be the percentage of people? Like, would it be 100%? 100% means it's going to be 1 lakh people. It can be 90%. It can be 5%. It can be 20%. What, according to you, do you think is the percentage of people who can see your post if you have 1 lakh fans on your Facebook page? Okay, Drashti is saying 2% to Drashti Shah is saying 2% to 3%. Sonia is saying 2%. Okay. So, I mean, it's very interesting. Dr. Rathod Rashmi is saying 5%. I really like the audience who's there on the page right now. ISIM, kudos to you guys that you are really kind of like, you know, the knowledge sessions, I think, have really worked for them. And I think got the really right audience out here. Lavish is saying 10%, Shruti is saying 10%, Sunita is saying 5%. Let me tell you guys, guys are pretty close. Okay. Officially, Facebook had announced in 2016, but in 2018, it had announced again that the reach basically would not be more than 1 to 4%, 4 being on the highest side. Okay. So if there are 1 lakh people on your Facebook page, okay, your post is not reaching to more than 400 people because there is a data explosion out here. One person on their news feed cannot see more than, would not scroll more than 8 times. That is equivalent to around 50 posts is what you can see a day. But what you get is around 700 to 800 posts a day with the ads, with your brands, with the amount of friends you have. Ashwin, you'll have less trouble. You have less friends on Facebook, so it won't be a problem. Okay, but that's the issue. So as even on Instagram, lately the number of people on Instagram has grown so much that the reach per post on Instagram has also gone down. In fact, stories, the reach is much higher. So as an influencer, we basically definitely look at kind of like, you know, what is the number of comments the person is getting, what is the number of likes the person is getting on a post. And we also ask for data from the person once we get in touch with them that, okay, what is the kind of engagement you have? Hence, engagement is very important. Conversion is more important. And views and reach is the least important thing, but has good amount of importance too. Let's move ahead. Which social media channels are most important for influencer marketing? Instagram, guys, hands on. It's the most important out here. YouTube, Facebook, blogs, Twitter comes later, and then comes the rest of them. Snapchat, surprisingly, guys, is very late out here. Though India basically, as of 2019 July, I know those numbers very sure. Hence, I'm telling you that 12 million active users in India for Snapchat as of July 2019. So there is a good amount of number of people out there, but still that is also not the most preferred. Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, definitely. And now the one which is latest walked in, I'm sure you all know, TikTok. TikTok, if you guys are thinking kind of like, you know, oh man, how Alice, how ridiculous. I don't want to be on TikTok. Even if you are, you won't admit to it though. But TikTok is like this song by Enrique Iglesias. You can run, you can hide, but you can never escape TikTok. The only reason is they have, as of today, 190 million active followers on TikTok. Hence, this is basically a 2019 report, which I have in front of you. But right now, undoubtedly, after Instagram, TikTok would be number 2. Moving on, I mean, here, look at this. The average engagement rate on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. So basically, if you have less than 1,000 followers, 5,000, 10,000, etc., basically, we look at kind of this side as agencies or brands. If you have more than 10,000 followers, definitely kind of like, you know, you're approachable by various brands, because then you have a good amount of number. If you have something like around 2,000-3,000, you're just growing there. Not that you won't be able to be an influencer at that rate and you won't be able to monetize. You will be able to monetize then too. But at the same point of time, it would always be better if you have around at least 10,000 plus followers out here. Okay, so you hustled and created quality content, right? Imagine this. Okay, just imagine for a second that you hustled, you created amazing content, people are loving it, you have engaged an audience, you have 20,000 plus fans on Instagram, people who are following you, 20,000 plus, and they're engaged, they're liking, they're commenting. Okay, and you also understand your client, right? So basically now, ideally, the work should be done, right? Now brands should be approaching you. True or false, right? Most of the people think the answer is true, right? But the number of influencers, the number of people who have this kind of numbers are huge again, right? It's difficult for them to come on the radars of company or on the radars of various ad agencies or digital marketing agencies like Octobus. So how do you basically reach to them? Okay, you're basically waiting out. Brands will approach me. Okay, but how do you reach them out? That is the key. Most of the people fall out here where they feel that, okay, I have done my job. I have created the content. Now brands are going to approach me. That's where the hustle comes back again. Good things come to those who don't wait, but who hustle again. Trust me, I mean, like, when you see a few influencers, Santoshi Shetty is there. There's so many good influencers out there. And you see them and you see basically that, wow, what a life they have. Like La Patisserie, Pooja Dhingra is there, right? There's so many cool influencers. We see, wow, man, their life is so cool. Everybody loves them. They're so popular. Like Neha had said about what people think about you, is that you're so popular. You're shocking. You're doing this. You're doing that. At the same point of time, you don't know the hustle behind it. That is what we are trying to tell you. That is basically the secret ingredient out there, that they are hustling. They are doing so many things out there. Now, we will tell you a few things out of that, which are very important, how you can start your influencer journey and how you can hustle. And we are just going to give you a little bit of direction in terms of what you can, where you can hustle, how you can hustle, so that you can earn more. Okay, the first secret out here, okay, in terms of hustle, get client ready. Okay, now if you have to basically be ready for let's say Octobus, or let's say the brands that we work with Aldo, we work with Hamleys, we work with so many interesting brands out there, CNN, CNBC. Okay, now let's say for example Aldo, okay, you have to be ready for Aldo, or you have to be ready for any client. What we will need first is we will basically need to understand some kind of showreel. Okay, we need to understand you, we need to understand your analytics a little better. Most of the influencers whom are popular have something called as a showreel. Now let me give you an example of a showreel, one, okay, but it can be in the form of a video or it can be in a form of PowerPoint presentation, either or. Okay, I'm just gonna show you a showreel of basically the wow detector out here, who's an influencer, and this is her video. Name is Sayanti.
फ्रेंड्स, मैं हूँ शायंती, ब्लॉगर, यूट्यूबर और सोशल मीडिया एक्सपर्ट. आपको मैं बताना चाहूंगी this month how you can change your wardrobe and make it more stylish. Keep watching Tata Style Videos. The beauty of this bridal set is that this kanta can be teamed up with the choker and you can also wear it without it. Temple jewelry is a must-have for all brides. अगर आप अपने बॉडी शेप को ज़्यादा स्लिम दिखाना चाहें या तो फिर ज़्यादा
So just to give you an idea, she's basically just talking about the brands that she's worked with, where she's been a speaker. So she's created a showcase for her and she sent it to agencies. Okay, so that's the other part, that's the other hustle. Brands and agencies might not come to you always. Okay, you need to hustle and register yourself with maximum agencies. So if you're an influencer, spend some time, pick up your phone, okay, look into Google, find out some digital media agencies look at their clients. Every agency has a roster of clients on their website. Even if you go to our site, octobus.com, okay, you'll be able to find which clients we work with. Okay, now if you feel that your category matches with them, basically, call us. There is a contact number there. There is a mail there. Send us a show reel. We basically will add you to your list, to our list. Sorry. Now that way, if you register yourself with maximum agencies and don't rely on one agency itself, okay, talk to maximum agencies. Do your law of averages. It's like if you send it to 50 agencies, at least 2 will for sure give you a call. It's a number game, guys. When you're talking about sales out here, when you're talking about money, it's a numbers game completely. Okay, so register yourself with maximum agencies. Point 3. Now, this is again a very big secret out here, hustle again out here, to register yourself with maximum influencer marketing platforms. There are various platforms. There is Unimo. Unimo basically is a platform which is universe of mothers kind of. If you have a baby and you're a mommy influencer, you can basically register with Unimo. Unimo apparently has more than right now 350,000 moms in one group together. And Unimo is apparently being felicitated by Randy Zuckerberg, who's the COO of Facebook herself, as one of the biggest mommy groups in the world. There is Plixo, there is Influencer, there is Mad Influence. Talent House is Reliance's company, which is into crowdsourcing. GetEvangelize.com is there. Blogmint is there. There is Blog Adda. There is so many. If you are looking at international influence, in that case, basically you can look at Star Engage and you can look at Massfluencer. Okay. Trust me, there are so many more platforms out here. Once you have your, your show reel ready, even if you don't have them ready, you can just upload details about you. You can link your pages to that. And they are very good. They're very professional also out here, specifically in terms of giving you money at the right time. So you can definitely connect with all these platforms out here. The other secret or the other hustle out here is hustle to connect with brands directly. You have an idea, or you see one of your competitors, or you see an influencer basically promoting, write to that brand directly. I'll just give you since I told you about Aldo shoes, let me give you an example about Aldo. Neha out here basically receives so many influencer requests that, okay, I saw this campaign happening, can I also be a part of it? Or the company basically, Aldo shoes itself gets these mails from influencers, I saw this, can I be a part of it? I saw some influencer putting up something about Cyber Monday or Black Friday sale, can I also be a part of it? You need to be active. You need to keep a watch around if you want to be a good influencer and specifically make money. One more secret is, see, when as an agency or as a brand, we want an influencer who's more kind of professional. Okay, so if you give us a report later, okay, that this is what happens, because see, we cannot get access to your insights, right? And most of the time we have to really follow up. There are influencers who throw tantrums also. There are some influencers whom we have to follow up like anything to just get one story posted when we are paying them, right? The point is that it needs to be a win-win. We both need to be at the same levels. So be professional there. At the same point of time, send them a report from your side, okay? Just create a small Word doc with, let's say, your name on top. Just write that, okay, this was the reach. This was the number of people who saw my story. And these were the likes. This was the kind of engagement. That is something that they will really appreciate and respect, and you would basically get on top of their minds for sure if there is any other campaign coming up, because they know you're responsible, they know you're professional, and everybody wants to work with somebody they're comfortable with, right? So that's another secret, that hustle to be professional out here. One more part, I mean, this is something that you don't need to do it, but it's just a suggestion in terms of, because we see a lot of influencers doing it, and at the same point of time, if I were an influencer, I would have done the same thing. So let's say if you're getting an X amount from a company for you doing an X, so you're getting something in barter, okay, just put a little bit of money behind it to help it reach more audience. That way you're helping the brand or the client, okay, to achieve their objectives. And hence, you are basically creating a win-win situation for both. They will definitely remember you again. Uh, so this was one more secret, that go beyond, boost the client posts, help them get better reach, or at times kind of like, there are a lot of people who kind of even put up one more post on their own, even if the discussion is that you just need to put one story and one post, they would just go ahead and put up one more story without even me telling them. So it's a suggestion, it's not necessary, but if you do this, the client and the agency will be more comfortable with you, and you're helping them achieve their goals. It's one thing that I've always believed in is givers gain. If you give something to somebody, okay, unconditionally, don't expect the gain, you'll always get the gain. So basically coming to the end of the presentation, when we look at a lot of influencers around us, guys, we always think that it's a straight road. It's kind of like, such an easy thing. And we just keep thinking, mera kyun nahi ho raha? Okay, the only answer is hustle here. There is a lot that you don't see in the front. There's a lot that's behind the scenes that is happening with these guys. Did you ever think that they are approaching so many agencies, so many clients, all these influencers have got there because there are times that they must have done so much of free work also for agencies or free work for people, so that they can connect and tell and add that in their show reel that I worked with this brand, so that the other brand who's coming might even prefer them. So the reality is in hustle. The reality is basically that you work hard to basically get to where you want to. There'll be a lot of ups and downs even when you are at the top of your game. So for example, there is this blog called Mo Vlogs. He faced a huge issue in terms of kind of like, people following him at one point of time, and at the same point of time, even he had released a video about where his YouTube earnings have really gone down. There will be ups and downs. There'll be new challenges. Face them, solve them. That's about it, guys, from me. Time for questions.
Wow. Okay. That was really interesting, Hemal, and I really loved the last graphic which you put up. That is the journey, I think so, of most people who want to be influencers, but I think it ends up being the journey of most people who want to do anything in life. It's just the ups and downs that goes on.
Right.
Okay, so I think we're seeing a few bunch of questions come in on social media. Before we jump into any audience questions, I thought I should probably throw out a few questions to both of you. And I had planned a lot of them, but I think you answered them, quite a few of them already in the presentation. But to start with, I think first I would really like to get a view from you that is social influencing something to be considered as a full-time job? I mean, do you have to really look at this as a full-time job to be successful? Or do people just take it very casually and still make it?
Well, if I have to answer that, it depends kind of. If you have that time, do it full time. Okay, but at the same point of time, it can be a second income for most of the people. It can be something that you can do as part of, like, while doing something else too. So that's not a problem, but the effort needs to be equal to full time.
Okay. Just adding on to this, there are so many people who are doing this full time. And the next step to the influencer is collaborating with the brand and becoming their brand ambassador. So
that is also there.
Yeah, so there are contracts which brand do with these people, and they are like for 6 months to a year. So it does become your full-time job.
So I'll just give you an example. There is this very big yoga influencer called Natasha Noel, if somebody knows. We had contacted her one time, and we, from a apparel brand point of view, we had contacted her. It was an international apparel brand who wanted to get in touch with her, who was launching themselves here. And she said that she was already affiliated with, I think, a Reebok at that point. It was 2 years back. So from what I remember, she was affiliated. She had an annual contract with them that whatever she posts, whenever she's putting up fitness related stuff, she would wear that brand only.
Okay. Wow. Nice. So definitely then there is a possibility for this to be your primary income. But yes, you have to put in the effort yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there are a lot of people putting up something about TikTok. We take up those questions also, but you look at the following that they have. You look at the kind of money that they're making. Per video. some of them are charging around 3.5 lakh rupees. I mean, there are 2 to 3 people I know at the top of my mind on TikTok. There's this guy called Mr. Fezu. There is this girl called Jannat Zubair. They have more following than Tiger Shroff is on TikTok, and at the same point, Jacqueline Fernandez on TikTok. They're more following than them. Okay, and they charge a bomb. In fact, any movie that happens, most of the actors have a strategy right now where they kind of involve TikTok influencers, and I mean, yeah, they're making good money. They've been invited to events offline for inaugurations. I mean, these are 20, 21-year-old kids who have celebrity managers.
Wow, well, wonderful. Yeah, so, okay, so because there are lots of questions coming in, what I will keep doing is jumping between my questions and the audience questions so that we get everyone an opportunity to ask. So I'm going to go to one of the first questions that we got from Sunita. Her question is, how important is audience and media match? What do you filter, or how do you filter?
Sorry, Snigdha, right?
Sunita, how important is the audience and media match? How do you filter that? You have to match the audience and the media.
Right. So when you're talking about media, from what I'm assuming, she's talking about YouTube or which medium, right? Yes. I mean, see, for us to match that, we definitely, the only thing we will first look at is what is the objective of the brand. Okay, now the brand is definitely, now we are just working with an international brand who is basically into business and accounting app. Okay, we're looking at influencers for them. So for them, we will possibly not look at certain platforms. We will look at platforms like Twitter. We'll look at platforms like YouTube. We will look at platforms like LinkedIn. We might not even look at Instagram at that point of time in the first place. Second place, we might. So it would definitely, it has a lot to do with the objective of that brand, and then what kind of following also that medium has. So for example, on LinkedIn, we might find out the right and most influential people, but they might not have that kind of following. Then what to do?
Okay. Wow.
So that's the answer.
Okay. Yeah, I hope, Sunita, you got your answer there. All right. Now jumping to one of my questions. Now, Neha, I know you look after performance marketing, which is a lot of spend, basically the ad spends in social media for Octopus. That's probably, you're the go-to person for that, what I know. So I wanted to get your view on this, saying that every one of us or every single social influencer starts from zero. So at the point when we are starting from zero, how much money do you think a social influencer should invest to start getting that initial traction? Or do you suggest zero? I mean, what's your view on that?
See, I'll always say first, try and put up things. Put a post on your particular medium. See how your audience are reacting to it. Right. Definitely, as I mentioned in my presentation before, just don't go for the number of followers you get, because you might end up getting fake followers, right? And the sooner they come, the sooner they'll go, right? Okay. So try and gauge your audience first, and definitely would then suggest that select the right kind of audience and do put some money towards your post, towards your content, and you'll see that right kind of people would be coming in. Now, how much to put? I would say it depends upon influencer to influencer, how much you want to put with. Maybe you start with 300, 500, $1,000. That's okay. But start somewhere, learn from it for a week's time, see how many people are you getting in, or how well your content is performing then, and then try to put in. You'll come to.
See, I mean, I just want to add something out here, Ashwin. She said absolutely right. One thing that kind of start somewhere, put something. The reason is that, you spend so much time creating good piece of content. One thing that I always kind of talk to my clients about is that not necessarily that you put a lot of content, but whatever you put good.
Yeah, it should reach people.
And if you made that content, if it doesn't reach people, how's it good? So a little bit amount is good, but at the same point of time, like she said, learn from it. That is more important, because if you don't crunch that data that, okay, I put two posts and I put 500 on one, I put 500 on the second one, but then one got me 1500 engagement, the other one got me 2000 engagement. That means that this works. But
Yeah.
most of us do not spend that time in doing that data crunching.
Yeah. Understood. Understood. So I think it's just not blindly putting money. It's a lot about analyzing also when you put in the money.
Every time you put money, you got to learn out of it.
Perfect. Good. I think everyone's getting a lot of learning through this. Before we go ahead and go into the other questions, I see there are a bunch of questions on TikTok, so I'll try to address them or take them up all together in one go. But I want to announce something right now, so just for us, because we're doing social media and we're talking about social media influencing. I want to announce, and I haven't checked this with Hemal and Neha, but we're going to do a contest right now. I want everyone, whoever's asking a question, and everyone whoever asks a question and shares this video right now, they'll get a surprise gift. Okay, that gift's going to involve Hemal and Neha, so it will be involving them also. But you make sure that you ask a question and you share this video right now and get your friends to join in. So you'll be shortlisted for a lucky draw winner out of this.
Oh, glad you said that.
Not everyone.
You said everyone is getting. Guys, hold him on to that.
One lucky draw winner. One.
How is ISM made so much money that they're giving everybody who's asking a question one gift?
No. One lucky draw winner will get it. Okay. All right. So now let's get into this TikTok bit of thing, because I think a lot of people are always wanting to know a little bit about it. So I have two questions, Hemal. One from Jerusha and another one from Sunita. So let me go first to Sunita's question. Who are the people on TikTok? She asks. If they are that young people, what's the impact on their credibility? So let's address this question before I go to Jerusha's question.
Fair enough. I should take this.
Yeah.
Okay. So in terms of TikTok, it started as a tier 2, tier 3, majorly tier 3 as a platform. But you just look at the number, 190 million. You see all your Instagram, all the Instagram bloggers also, influencers also have now moved to TikTok. So that talks about the credibility one. The other part is currently it's a fresh platform. The reach is great. The reach of TikTok also, like Facebook, the reach got down. It is a normal trajectory. It's history kind of. So it's going to repeat itself. There also the reach is going to go down. Be the pioneer, be the first, and make the best out of it. Our people now, every age of people are there on TikTok. If you see the ones who are creating content also, various ages. But definitely the main demographic is young people, millennials specifically. And if there is a brand, like let's say we work with Chetan Bhagat, we work with Amish, and for them it's again the right target audience, okay? Because all these people are readers, okay? I might not put Aldo immediately, or I might not be able to convince, let's say, my client there to put Aldo out there. But let me tell you, Calvin Klein as a brand has run one of the first campaigns, like, in the initial time, like not really very initial, but just I think a couple of months back, they had run this campaign called In My Calvins, where Kendall Jenner was a part of it. So, I mean, that's what more can I talk about the credibility of this? At the same point of time, there is, if you only want to target rural audiences or even majorly tier 3 audiences, TikTok as a company, which is ByteDance, the parent company itself, has one more app called Hello, H-E-L-O. Now that app is where you'll find a lot of tier 3 audience out there, because again, it's there in various languages also. So
Okay.
I think that hopefully answers the question.
Wonderful. Yeah, I think that answers the question. And I think the follow-up question that Jerusha had also somewhat gets answered, but I'll still ask the question if you want to add something into it. She asked that what should be the content for TikTok and what type of benefits would a business get for being on TikTok? So I think you already addressed that of what benefits people would get, but can you probably elaborate a little bit on what kind of content should be there on TikTok?
So currently TikTok majority had 80%, 82% of content on TikTok was humor first. Okay. Now things are changing in a big way, and better be a part of that revolution now before you miss the bus. EduTalk, hashtag EduTalk on TikTok is one of the biggest hashtags, and people are really kind of started motivational speakers, people who are talking about etiquettes, people who are talking about 60-second stories, people who are talking about like tutorials for like photography, like 10-second photography, crazy stuff out there, food tutorials, a lot of stuff. So snackable videos, quick videos is people don't have too much time, so it's working out well in terms of benefits. TikTok, I mean, from an influencer point of view, you can make money, that is through brands, but at the same point of time, like YouTube has revenue sharing mechanism, TikTok is just getting into that only. It's already there in the beta mode, but it is definitely rolling out to maximum people also about the same. Where if, like, let's say there is an ad which comes around that time, you were definitely paid for it too.
Okay, understood. I think that makes sense.
Government is using TikTok as a platform for spreading social message as well.
Yeah, true.
So you'll see so many TikTok videos which are on this lockdown, how to wash your hands or how to save yourself from coronavirus. So yeah.
But one thing I like to tell: don't lose your personality out there on TikTok just to be a part of what TikTok is. Be yourself, okay? And people will see the uniqueness out there. But understand, TikTok is not about education; it's about edutainment.
Understood. Entertainment is important in this part.
Yep.
Okay, so Hemal, Neha, we've got a bunch of questions coming in, so we're going to try to address them as soon as possible. So we'll quickly go through them. So the next question comes in from Shreja. She wants to know, what are your suggestions on increasing social selling? So very quickly, if you can probably answer that question.
What are your suggestions on
social selling?
Okay, fine. Performance marketing, literally on social. Yep.
So what is your few suggestions on increasing social selling?
See, increasing social selling, it's just about the key out there is attribution, I would say. So for example, if you have a website and if you're selling something out there, you need to make sure that you have Google Analytics placed. I'm going to talk about a few terms which are more technical, but GTM, Google Tag Managers are placed, right? So you come to know that, okay, fine, I did this particular campaign on Facebook, this particular copy, did this work, and how much sale or lead it brought, or how much traffic it brought. It's all a number game. If you can learn out from there, you'll be able to do better. So because see, what happens is we put up an ad on Instagram, we put up an ad on Facebook, we'll also put up an ad on Twitter and Google, but then we look at individual platforms, we don't look at what is happening where. How are we getting that traffic together and how are we selling that? And what is working for us and what is not working for us then. And sometimes through campaigns, we also come to know exactly what demographic is working for us, exactly what copy is working for us, etc.
Also, which platform is working better for which brand.
Right. And if you don't understand, you can definitely contact Octobus. We'll help you.
Yes, that is always going to be there. If you don't understand it, please call Hemal and Neha. They will be ready to work for you guys and take you on as a client.
Right.
All right. So Hemal, the next question is from Sonia on behalf of the entire ISIM tribe. The question she's asking is, how much time do you recommend a person should invest in a day to begin with for becoming a social influencer?
Can you repeat the question?
How much time do you recommend a person should invest in a day to begin with to become a social influencer? How much time would you recommend that a person should put in a day?
In terms of creating content and stuff.
Yeah, the entire day. How much time they should invest?
Honestly, if the way we would go around is, don't plan the day, plan at least the week, and preferably a month. So how I would put it is, take up one Saturday out of your lives, and put in 4 to 5 hours out there, create good content and schedule it.
Okay. And how much time on a daily basis should I be sitting on social media?
Sitting on, from a work point of view, you definitely need to see comments. You need to you need to compartmentalize that time. You need to put that time in terms of ORM, where you're kind of replying to people. Second, you need to look at competition. Third, data crunching. Fourth, where you need to create content. You should create it first and schedule it, but you should be definitely aware about the latest trends or moment marketing, as we say. There you'll have to put some time. So I wouldn't say more than 2-3 hours a day.
Okay,
So the
great.
thing is, for creating a content, you won't have to put so much time every day. But to know whether that content has worked for you, or are you doing as good as your competitors, or basically your analyzing part will take more of your time on daily basis, and that should be there.
Okay. Wow. All right. So there are a bunch of questions coming in. We might not be able to take all the questions today, but we will definitely come back on the stream and answer them. I will encourage Hemal and Neha to do that. We are hard pressed on time, so we will take a few more questions, and we do have a rapid fire for each of our presenters today.
Okay.
So let's select a few questions. So Ananya Singh wants to know, how do you prioritize your content?
How do you prioritize your
Content.
How do you prioritize? It's a little confusing, but I'll try to assume an answer. In terms of prioritizing, if we have to say what would I put first if I have a lot of content, completely comes from, I'm sorry I'm using this again and again, data. But looking at your insights, if you see a particular kind of content working better, prioritize that simply. And it's just like what looks, the iceberg is basically smaller outside and very deep inside. Data is what is inside.
Okay, understood. One very quick answer now. I want very quick ones, guys. Dr. Rashmi Rathod wants to know, what should be the frequency of putting posts on Insta and Facebook? How many posts should we put up?
So there are, it completely depends, but at the same point of time, there are benchmarks where you shouldn't put out, we are in a preferred agency partner by Facebook. So if we say these things, they're going to kill us. But at the same point of time, from my experience, we can say, and it might differ from person to person, but don't overkill also. If you put too many posts a day, it might backfire. So one a day is good. If you put alternate days, one post also is very good. Put more stories. Put 5 stories a day minimum. Put more stories.
All right. Neha, anything to add?
Yeah, from the performance point of view, I would say if you're putting once or twice a week, that would be good enough. Put good content and you can promote it for the week's time. So that will also bring you a lot of engagement.
So that's a good part. At least promote 2 posts a week.
A week, yeah.
Okay, great. So everyone, we are pressed on time. We are already over by 4 minutes. So there are a bunch of questions which I have not been able to ask. Nilima, Jerusha, Shruti, Adarsh, there are a bunch of questions, guys. Hemal, Neha, I would really request you guys to go back after this call, after this Zoom call, or sorry, Facebook Live, and answer some of these questions on the live feed. Give them some more details of the current questions that we've already answered. So now we're going to move into the last phase of today's call. That is the rapid fire. And we're going to do this very fast. I'm not going to give you time to answer.
You have a hamper.
Yes, there is a hamper. Don't worry. After lockdown, you will get the hamper.
I don't mind Paytm coming to me.
Sorry, man. Okay, so we're going to start with ladies first, Neha. We're going to ask you the question. All right. So very quickly, the first question is, what's the first app I will find in your phone if I unlock it?
What's the first
app that I will see open in your phone when I unlock your phone?
Instagram.
Okay. One thing you hate about Instagram. One thing you hate about Instagram.
Actually, nothing.
Nothing at all.
That's the first thing you see on my phone if you open it, and yeah.
All right. If the option is given, cat videos or dog videos, which one would you prefer?
Dog. I have 2 lovely dogs with me at my home.
Okay. If given the choice, which famous person will you unfollow right now on social media?
That's a tricky one. I shouldn't name him, but okay, Ritik.
Okay, Ritik Roshan. All right. Your favorite TikTok artist right now?
As we mentioned, both of them, Mr. Faizu and Zainab Zubair, I follow them a lot. So
okay. And one last question. What's your one advice to a newbie social influencer? If one advice you can give them.
Hustle. That's the only advice I would give, because definitely you'll come to know many things which you can do to become successful at influencing people. But unless and until you keep on trying it again and again and hustle for it, it would be difficult to reach there.
Wow, wonderful. So hustle again. All right. So Neha, that was your very quick. I have taken it in a very quick manner, the rapid fire. The next rapid fire is Hemal. Hemal, you have to do much better than Neha. All right. The answers have to be more controversial and better.
Paytm, yes.
Yeah, if you want to win it, you have to put in the effort. So before I ask Hemal the questions, everyone on the live stream, please remember, we will put up a link for a feedback form. We would really request you to please go ahead and share your feedback. Only if we know how you think and if these sessions are valuing you, that's how we can make it better and continue giving you these knowledge happy hour sessions. So please, my team will be putting that in the live stream. Please go ahead and fill up that feedback form. It will be really helpful for us. Okay. All right, Hemal. So your rapid fire starts now. Okay. Videos on Facebook or on YouTube?
YouTube.
Okay. Your favorite Facebook feature?
Favorite Facebook feature would be boost the post.
Okay.
From there, man.
All right. Boost the post or make ads. What's the first app I will see in your phone when I unlock it?
TikTok.
TikTok.
I'm doing it.
You're going into so Hemal's going to become another TikTok influencer very soon.
No, I need to be on top of my game right now. If that's trending, I need to know it.
Yes. Okay. So Hemal, I know you love Twitter. So tell me, is Twitter real news or fake news?
Is Twitter real?
Real news or fake news?
It's both mixed, yeah. But I love Twitter.
All right.
Twitter is nobody can copy you.
One thing you hate about Instagram?
Hate about Instagram. Oh yeah. I hate their user experience. The way I can swipe on TikTok versus if you look at it on Instagram, there is a little bit of haziness which comes in between. I hate the transition there. It makes me dizzy after 20 minutes.
Hemal is definitely a TikTok fan. We have understood that. All right, Hemal, last two questions. If given the choice, which famous person will you unfollow right now? It can't be one of your clients, huh?
No, I wouldn't unfollow any of my clients. Anyways,
So one famous person.
Donald Trump.
Okay, Donald Trump. All right, last question. What advice would you give to a newbie social influencer?
Sorry?
What advice would you give to a newbie social influencer?
I would just say that only think of how can you add value. It's just a community. How can you add value to that community? You automatically become an influencer there. It's just that how much you can give, people will start giving to you.
Wonderful. Yep. I think everyone's been able to get a better picture of this. So round of applause, Hemal, thank you so much. And thank you, Neha, so much for an amazing rapid fire. I think I will have to give it to Neha. Even though Hemal, your answers were good, but I still think Neha wins it. All right. Thank you everyone for being on this live stream. Thank you, Hemal, Neha, taking out your time to share so many good advice and inputs for becoming a social influencer. I hope everyone's been able to understand this a little bit better. I know I had a lot of questions, which I still am going to ask every one of you, both of you. And I think everyone on this live stream still has questions. So even after this is over, I would encourage everyone to put in the questions. Hemal and Neha, please do take some time out and answer those questions when you can.
Sure.
And again, thank you so much for coming here and spending time with us today and learning a little bit more and telling us a little bit more about social influencing.
Thank you, Ashwin. I'd also like to add here a little. Thanks to I really appreciate that ISIM as a company, basically as an educational institution. Basically, Sonia and Ashwin, both of you guys are trying to take this initiative of happy hours. Trust me, we know, we do this day and night. We know how difficult it is. 15, this is the 15th episode, right? Or 16th?
Yes, 15th episode.
Right. 15 days continuously getting somebody, that is nothing but hustle. It's not easy. You know, it's very easy. A lot of people who are on the live right now or even beyond might think about it. Very few will do it. So applause for that, guys.
Thank you, Hemal. But again, thank you so much for coming and sharing your time. These sessions would be nothing without you, all presenters like you. So thanks again. And thanks for everyone on the live stream. We will announce the winner very soon. I will look through all the questions and compare them to the shares, and we will announce the winner. The winner will get a free 1 hour conversation, because we can't do a meeting, a quick conversation with Hemal and Neha to get a little bit more personal advice. So thanks, Hemal, for offering that.
Yeah, we do consulting, absolutely.
Great. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for being on this call. Tomorrow's session is going to be a really amazing session. That's going to be taken by Sonia herself. She's going to be doing the session on how to start an image consulting business. I think a lot of you wanted to know about this, understand this. So it's going to be a really amazing session. I would really encourage you all to again tune in tomorrow, 7:30. Again, thank you so much for being on this live stream, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.